bit down, but it's above the open of the week. I got the Dow at 46,484, a little bit down today. Where's that open of the week? 46,565. So the Dow is actually slightly negative on the week, extremely positive on the month, and wow, big year so far. NASDAQ last traded at 24,833. They opened the week at 24,726.50. So they're up on the week, they're up on the month, they're up on the year. There's a lot of positives in this market, and it's something that I think you have to stress because, again, that looming, overshadowing cloud of government shutdown is there. It doesn't take away from what the market has so far accomplished and what the market could accomplish as soon as some sort of a resolution is reached. So I guess I'm a little bit weird in this is that I see the positives. Maybe I'm being, looking more at the silver lining than at the cloud. That's possible. But guys, this is a heck of a market. One of the things I love about futures markets, they're going to be open no matter what happens. So yeah, we're going to get some action in the market, whether it be a little bit down with a government shutdown or extremely positive with a resolution. One of those two things will occur, and the markets will be moving, and the markets will be trading. And Roadmap software, I can promise you, will be up and running. Senate might not be up and running, but the Roadmap software will. So we're going to keep abreast of the markets and things march on. Trading opportunities are going to be there, and we're going to take our best advantage of them. Now, we should be getting to the song part in just like any second now. So while that song is going, guys, let me know where you're logging in from and a little bit of something about that area. And we'll have Tom Busby joining us in just a moment.
In the early light, before the rooster crows, T-Bus sits where the ticker flows. A coffee cup, a steady hand. He trades the market like a riverboat man. Oh, T-Bus, he's trading his way through the peaks and the falls, come what may, with a gut full of grit and a heart that won't sway. T-Bus, he did it his way. He watches the charts like the stars in the sky, looking for answers, a reason why. Some call it luck, some call it skill, but Tom just calls it paying the bills. Through the red and the green, he's danced with a line. Every loss and each win, a tale of his time. Oh, T-Bus, he's trading his way through the peaks and the falls, come what may, with a gut full of grit and a heart that won't sway. T-Bus, he did it his way. Not every day's a victory, not every trade a gold, but he's learned to weather storms, let the stories unfold. With his eyes on the prize, his heart in the fray, T-Bus stands tall at the end of the day. Not every day's a victory, not every trade a gold, but he's learned to weather storms, let the stories unfold. With his eyes on the prize, his heart in the fray, T-Bus stands tall at the end of the day. Not every day's a victory, not every trade a gold, but he's learned to weather storms, let the stories unfold. With his eyes on the prize, his heart in the fray, T-Bus stands tall at the end of the day. victory, not every trade a gold. But he's learned to weather storms, let the stories unfold.
All right, guys, and Tom's going to be joining us in just a few minutes. Man, that song is catchy. It gets better and better every time, Adam. Great job there. Where can you find yesterday's train and trade session? Well, we are recording live on YouTube, so if you go to the YouTube channel and look for past live streams, you should get the most recent ones popping up, which would include yesterday's. That's generally the best way. If you're looking for a little bit more information, how to follow DTI, follow us at dtitrader.com/telegram and dtitrader.com/YouTube. So we got a couple states ringing in. We got Minneapolis in the house. We got Florida. We got Alabama and Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh in the house. So where else is everybody coming in from? We got Myrtle Beach. All right. Great to hear. Man, we've got a heck of a day lined up for you. This is the last day of the third quarter. We're wrapping up the quarter. We're wrapping up September. It's going to be fun. We got Houston in the house, Georgia in the house. We got, where else? Knoxville, Tennessee. We got Charlotte. Yeah, Phoenix cooling off. That's great to hear. Looking for those temperatures to go down. I'm looking forward to daylight savings. I got to be honest with you. It's starting to get pretty dark in the mornings, so I gotta turn on lights all the time when I'm waking up lately. I need to switch that. We need to roll back pretty soon. I don't think that comes up for a little while though. Was that in November? Wake up later? Yeah, no, that doesn't work, Adam. If I wake up later, then I get a message from you going, "Where is that report you promised me?" So I got to get the information out. I suppose I could write it, at night and just post it early. There's always that option. I don't know how accurate it's going to be. Markets do change overnight, as we know they're going to be changing overnight tonight with some of the overhanging information. So we got a lot to talk about today, and we're going to show you some things in Roadmap software that allow us to talk about them and kind of understand where we're coming from. That's going to be moving up in the broadcast today. Looking forward to everything getting started here. Of course, we have this risk disclaimer. There is a very high degree of risk involved in trading, and you're probably going to see from some of your trading platforms that they might be kind of jumping up that margin requirement a little bit, given the situation. Given the idea of the government shutdown. So be prepared for that. Understand that that's part and parcel of the project. And I think most of those margin considerations have already been put in place, but keep an eye out for things starting out. The first day of the fourth quarter could well be a doozy, but we are going to get you prepared for that, ready to go. Really looking forward to what we've got. We got 62 and overcast in LA. Sherry, good to see you. Glad you made it to the room. And of course, Sam, as always, hanging out from Hoover. Though technically, wouldn't that be more Irondale? So let's see, 6709.75. Markets are playing. We just bounced off of the low today, got down to 66.94. The market makes a nice hard bounce up to 67. Where did we get to? 13.75. So Tom, it's constrained, but it's active, and we are really looking forward to some of the news coming out. And are we looking forward to it, or are we a little bit hesitant because of it? What's happening with these markets right now?
Well, yeah, I've told people this all day. When I'm confused, I don't trade, and I'm confused because you got a market that's 50 points away from its all-time high, and you got a market that's about 50 points away from making new lows. after a 3-day low last week. So, and the problem is you got a news item that's going to, when it does come out, right? When the news item does come out, everybody's going to be in bed, and they're going to wake up in the morning. It's going to be 50 points higher, 50 points lower. That's not the kind of trade I like to do. So,
yeah, the funny thing, Tom, I was talking about this a little bit earlier. That news item, of course, that overshadowing possibility of a government shutdown. When you look at what could we possibly hear before the end of the day, the only thing we could possibly hear before the end of the day on that issue would be positive, right?
Yeah, exactly. Logic would tell you that's the only thing you could hear, for the end of the day. But for, you getting, the media's starting to pick it up, showdown and all this stuff. But the bottom line is, I think that there's a clean CR they're supposed to vote on sometime. And so you got it, is okay. So let me tell you the problem. Morris says, what about NVIDIA? Morris, if the market drops 5%, you think NVIDIA is going to stay here? I'm just asking the simple question. If the market drops 5%, do you think NVIDIA is going to stay here and keep going up? No, it's not going to. It's going to go down. Okay. So if I go buy an option on NVIDIA, right, and I'm all fat, dumb, and happy, and it close out maybe, even or higher on the end of the day, and then the night when I'm sleeping, and they actually do shut the government down, and the market falls 5%, that option is going to be worth about half. So I personally would rather stay on the sidelines, get clarification, either shut down or stay open, and then I'll trade. Because shutdown would not be all bad, because it would create an opportunity, because that's one of my expertise is picking these places once the low's in place to really get in some good price. Some of these stocks going to be a lot higher. I don't like the emotional suffering you got to go through to do that personally. Okay. If you want to do it, but not me. I'd rather just be a little patient and wait. Nothing wrong with being patient. Anyway, risk involved in trade next.
And I think Tom just answered this question about T-Buzz Connected Dots. Exercise some patience this week.
Yeah, I don't see anything I want to do.
All right, here's the government shutdown from Kalshi. Takes a little while to load in. Let's let it do that. Up to 83%.
So that's a new high, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's a new high. Yeah. So, I don't need to reiterate when the market's.
Let me tell you, market could have a spike low and then recover, and we end up higher. That's happened before too. It's just flip that coin.
I don't think we want. I don't think we want to flip that coin, Tom. That's the point you're trying to get across. I don't think we're doing. I was just, laughing. That's exactly right. It's flipping a coin, and we don't want to flip that coin. That's exactly the point you're getting across. Hopefully, I think you're pretty clear in that.
Well, you don't have my record of being right. What, 180, 185 trades, pushing 90%, taking foolish chances.
That's right.
Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it, folks. That's just the way I roll. Go listen to somebody that wants to put you in here and you'll get away with it. Oh, that's great. Keep doing that. You won't have an account. I'm here for the long term. Government shutdown above 80%. Stay up to midnight tonight and find out whether it's real or not. Okay? There it is. There it is. You keep going back and forth. What are you doing?
It just seemed like you were ready to move on.
I'm definitely ready to move on. Education, training, and experience. That's what we do. What we do.
Tom's got a gold program, and what it is take away futures first, and I think if maybe another one or two, but what the gold program, any kind of trade service that Tom has, so like T-Buzz All Stars or T-Buzz Talk and Trade, any kind of trade program that Tom has, you can get them all with one click of the mouse. I guess essentially it's this gold program, dtitrader.com/gold, just to get joined to everything. There's a gold Telegram channel where we post all the trades in the gold Telegram channel, so you don't have to go searching for anything. It's a really great program, dtitrader.com/gold. We ask that you type in your name and your email and your phone number if you are interested in joining this program with Tom. And again, it's basically everything that Tom has to offer, the gold program, except for futures first.
Yeah, it's an economic way to receive all those 180 plus trades. No, Hector, the gold lasts for 1 year. It's $10,000 per year.
Yeah, Hector, Adam's got it there for you. Futures First is not included with the gold program, Carol. Futures First is not included with the gold program. Futures is totally separate. But again, so the way we got it set up here, if you go to dtitrader.com/gold, on the website there, it brings you to, you can type in your name and your phone number and we'll give you a call. That's how it works.
Or if you'd like just to get the gold link and sign up, Adam would post it in here or get it sent to you if you put your name and email in there. He'll be glad to do that to save the time and effort.
Yeah, we always like more direct contact with you. Like Tom just said, type your name, phone number in the chat today.
I'll put your email, and we'll make sure Adam gets the link to you. I call it the jet link. At the speed of sound, you'll get it.
That's fitting given your flight history there, Tom. I like that, the jet link.
Yeah, I sort of liked it too. Came up with that. All right, Adam, you got her. Take care of her. Put the email.
All right, I'm just going to keep going here, Tom. We got a retirement session on Friday afternoon at 2 p.m., I believe.
Well, that's going to be an interesting one considering, what does it consider? It considers the fact, did the government shut down or did the government not shut down?
Yeah, this is quite the way to start the last quarter of the year, isn't it?
And how much do we charge for this one, this program?
The retirement is completely free. It's a Telegram channel, so be sure to get joined that. I just posted a link to the Telegram channel. Anybody can join it. Invite your friends.
Yeah, what I'm doing is sharing trades I'm doing inside my IRA or whatever, and get to see how I move things around between now and the end of the year. And we've taken about 40% just off the option money we put in there. So we've done good there, and we're just cranking away. That's the way retirement accounts are, isn't it?
Yep, retirement recognitions with a little bit of bonus there with those option trades. If you need a referral to Tasty Trade, you can email me at row@dtitrader.com. I'll send you the referral link. Email row@dtitrader, ROWE @dtitrader.com for a Tasty Trade referral.
We
And
use that to train with, folks. All right,
Yep.
what we got, Jonathan?
yeah, today is the last day of September, and Tom, we added the month high and low like you asked for here. I need to get this updated now since we're about 2 hours after I updated it last or so, or an hour and a half or so.
Perfect.
So let me do that.
It's showing month high 67.17. That's 67.56. I'm just saying. I don't know what happened there.
That let's see what. Oh, I see what happened. I see what I grabbed. I grabbed the wrong column when I did that this morning. Thanks for pointing that out.
Did you grab Monday's high? Is that
Yeah, I
Monday?
did. I grabbed today's high and low. That's what I did. I apologize. Let me update that here in just a second. Is the month high and low is a new thing that Tom had added to your custom pages as well. Tom, are you trying to call me right now?
No, I'm not trying to.
That's odd. I'm literally getting a call from you.
I moved my phone.
Okay.
What address is invalid, Linda?
Talking about the retirement telegram link. Let me check on that before we move past anything. Let me see here. I'll just generate a new link, brand new link. Let's see. Let's do create a new link. I didn't think they had a time limit, but maybe they do. Adam says the link is fine, but Linda, maybe try that link I just posted for you. All right, let's move on to let's see if this is ready to copy over. Yeah, we got this ready to copy over. The monthly high and low was added to our custom pages on the Roadmap software. And if you can see here, it's kind of small print, but when you're searching for the data point on your Roadmap custom page, it is labeled M space high and M space low for the monthly high and low. Let's get those updated correctly. Tom asked me to do this for his study going into the new month.
Yeah, I was going to study it tonight. Anita, you want the jet link? Is that what you're looking for? The jet link? Adam will send it to you.
And as we finish up the month here, let's just remind everybody how this works. There's columns over here that trigger long or short. The one that says above FTD high, it'll say long if the current price is above the first 3 days high. Now the first 3 days is the first 3 trade days of the month. And so the S&P at 66.99 just now is clearly above the 3-day high. And then what Tom will do as the month finishes up here, he'll look at the monthly range and see where we're closing in relation to that. Now, the monthly range is 67.56 and 63.71. It's likely that stays the same as we finish out the month today. So 66.69. Type in to the chats and let's get some interaction. Or is the S&P futures going to finish in the upper half or the lower half of the monthly range? You can just type in top or bottom or upper half or lower half. Philip says upper half. All right. What if we break the monthly range into thirds? Are we going to finish in the upper third or the lower third or the middle third? That's right. We're finishing the upper third. All right. So that's the first thing Tom will do when he kind of scans through the spreadsheet after the hours. Now I'll update it at the end of the trade day today. And I'll do that at 5 p.m. Eastern. I'll wait till the futures close at 5 p.m. Eastern and update it then. And then on Friday of this week, we're going to build a brand new spreadsheet for October. So be sure to tune in for that. Crude, as we just start to go down this list, crude is just short because the price of 62.35 is below the low from the first 3 trade days of the month. And if you look at crude in relation to its monthly range of 66.42 down to 61.45, that is in the lower third. All right, that's in the lower third. It's below the FTD low, and it's in the lower third of the monthly range. Let's keep going down the list here. There's gold and silver, long and near the high of the month. Bonds are long, and they're above the midpoint. The midpoint's about 115-ish or so. So we're above the midpoint. I don't think we're quite in the upper third, and I'd have to do the math, but pretty close. Bitcoin futures above the 3-day high, closer to the high than the low. And of course, TLT based on bonds. Got stocks above Apple above the 3-day high, Amazon below the 3-day high. Next picture there. AMD neutral. As we keep scrolling down the list, some nice about NVIDIA. Now, all this, obviously, we have important news on the horizon, right? So these are all set up long, of course. We're finishing up the month, so they're finishing the month strong, but the potential government shutdown takes precedent, of course, over everything here. Let's see what else we got. At the very bottom are the weekly dividend payers that we have here. And the 2 websites that those come from are Roundhill Investments and YieldMax. YieldMax, I think. Philip typed in the S&P would need to fall below 66.28 to be in the middle third. Thanks, Philip, for doing that math for us. Philip took the monthly range of 67.56 down to 63.61 or 71. Divided it into thirds and found that a drop below 66.28 would put the S&P in the middle third.
I want everybody that was in the SPX class, see the value of those 2 hours I was telling you about? Look at the, well, we'll finish this, we'll go to a live market. But pretty valuable stuff when you look at that. Roz, and anybody else that gets signed up, after you finish, make sure you get a time that me and you can talk in the future. I like to talk to everybody that's a gold member, make sure they're getting the maximum out of their program. So if you do it, just put your number in there, and after you do it, I'll give you a call.
Tom, we can go right to that live market here. Take a break, go to the live market. This is an hourly chart of, let's see, I've got XSP in there on an hourly basis. Day starts right where my mouse is.
Pretty powerful. Okay, why don't we do that? Take a 5-minute break, and we'll come back. Apple opened the week. Let me just tell you, if you got stocks, here's what I would do: check the weekly open of those stocks. Like Apple had a weekly open of 254.56. If it had a weekly open like that, what I would do, if it closed below that, I'd pitch it out. Yeah, Ross, put your phone number in there. I know you're going to do it, so I'll put you on my schedule. Just type your phone number there. Nobody else will see it. I'll give you a call. And thank you very much for joining our JET program. We call it Gold. Right, Carol? All right. I'm so excited, folks, about what I'm teaching people in my SPX. I got to tell you, people that join there, I'm getting a pile of love letters from what I've taught them about market timing. They're not biting on that little rally we just had because they know that it's sort of like in the old days, a pump and dump. They run it up there and then they take it down. You know, you got that range, 66.94 to what, Jonathan? 66.94 to 67.17.
Yeah, that 17 number being the high of the day. Yep. And Tom mentioned the weekly open here. Just type in a couple stocks. Here's Apple was an example. The unique thing about these MTI charts is it will give you that information right across the top of the daily chart. See that weekly open 254.56?
They even color code it for you.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
I went through about 25 stocks this morning. I said, Jonathan, send me that list of the FTD. And I went through that on MTI and I could just knock out the ones that were falling and the ones that were hanging. And it's just a great feature, real quick to do that.
Yeah, it is. It is a great feature. Yep.
All right, let's go through some stocks they want us to look at on MTI. Apple, you see where it is, red. Okay. Name some stocks, folks. If you got some you want us to look at, we'll look at it. Tesla, put old Tesla in there.
Tesla.
It's down for the week. And it's below its 30-minute. Does everybody see that right chart there where it's in a sell signal? Tesla, everybody see that? That's pretty good. Put Uber in there. Oh, Uber. Put Uber.
Uber. There's Uber.
Uber fell from grace. Look at it. This is what I did. I was going through this and I said, Palantir, I can tell you don't have to look at it. It's negative. Okay. That's Palantir. Michael Booth would like to see Avco.
Okay, there's Broadcom.
Negative. Put TLT. Now, this is one I told you to look at. TLT. It's positive for the week. Okay. I saw a question your Frank asked, you might answer. Put Oklo in there. We got to look at Oklo. If David asked, he's coming one-on-one. Yeah, short-term sell, Dave. Look at that. That's short-term, though. Okay. Did you see Frank's question, Jonathan?
Yeah, I was just waiting for a moment to answer there. Frank's question is how to add the white lines. Now, the white lines are MTI by DTI. That's the market timing indicator, which is the indicator that Tom created for the Thinkorswim program. And if you'd like to get MTI by DTI, I think the link is dtitrader.com/MTI. Let me type that into the chat. I think we spoke about this yesterday, actually, during Train and Trade. So if you already have MTI by DTI, you can head over to the one-click membership area and go into the market timing indicator access point, and you will see the codes to set up your Thinkorswim, and it's got a tutorial video step by step. I can't show you that live right now, but if you are a part of MTI by DTI and you're having difficulty with that walkthrough step-by-step video on how to install everything, I guess you can probably just email me, Ro@DTI Trader, and I'll help you out. But it is all there on the members area at One Click Trading for our MTI members. All right, Mr. Kelly wants to look at Google.
That's negative on the short term.
Let's see. Tammy wants to look at Hood. Robin Hood.
Tammy, Tammy, is this one of my favorite students of all time? Been with me a lot of years. Is this the Tammy I think it is? Might not be.
Let's look at, just gonna go through all these symbols typed in. Riot. There's Riot. Here's the one I haven't looked at in a while. JBL. Here's silver. SLV. Silver ETF.
Very bullish on the daily, but you can see it's correcting. They have to get, what's the top of that white line on the right-hand side? Give everybody where I would consider getting back into silver.
42.21. 42.21.
Okay.
Here's Palantir. Another look at Palantir.
Look at Palantir where it turned positive. See the green arrow over there to the right? Turned back positive. It was negative this morning, but it's turned back positive. Everybody see that? And Palantir, yeah, 180.94. 179 is its pivot number. Early morning it was down. Okay.
What else we got here? We got KO, Coca-Cola. Got T-Mobile, TMUS. Oops. TMUS.
Showing the opportunity scanner too, because that's pretty cool what we've developed there. You got both long-term and short-term. Give it a couple examples.
Yeah, it is. Let me show you that real quick. So I should have zoomed in on the opportunity scanner. I'm looking at the NASDAQ 100 right now, and I can sort by alphabetically, which is a checkerboard right now, given what the market's doing, or I can sort for your shorts. If I just click the MTI daily scan a couple times, it'll resort it and it'll kind of clump everything together. We can see all your green stocks right here, which means they're above. If you look down the daily scan, they're above on their long-term daily chart. They're above the MTI lines. All right.
Light green means what?
Light green means they weren't above the MTI lines yesterday, and they are today, is what that means.
New breakouts?
Yeah, potentially. Yep. Let's see how they finish the day. All right. So here's Microsoft. It's above the green. And then the right column is the intraday. It's based on the 30-minute chart. And we looked at the 30-minute just a moment ago on several of those. I think Palantir was one that we showed you when it got above the intraday white lines and has been trending up for the day so far.
That scanner can really help you if you get a good trend going.
Now that's a great quote you copied and pasted, Tom. That's a great quote there.
Yeah, it got my attention too, because this is something, you got to have the right tools. Can you imagine if your car broke down and you had to fix it, you didn't have the right tools to get it fixed? You had to throw your whole car away. Got to have the right tools. And I think two of the right tools are the roadmap software. We talked about it just about every day. And then MTI is what I call the trading tool, the trading thing. You just get it and go,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Hey, do me a favor, put AGQ into the chart. Let me look at it.
Okay. While I'm doing that, my desktop, what's your name? Let us know who you are. Let us know who you are.
Let me show you how, before you leave TMUS. See, it's bullish on the short term, but it needs to get above that top line on the white line and have a real buy signal. Okay. Hey, Mark. what is it, 242.91? It'd have to get above. All right, yeah, Jonathan, showing AGQ. I just want to look at it because this is intriguing to me. Bullish on the long term. Needs to get above about 75. What is that, 75.75? Okay. For silver to come out of its air pocket. I use AGQ. I trade futures, but I use AGQ to trade futures because that stock, they start piling into it. It goes above that, and then if it takes out the high, you look back, futures up $1 or so. It's a pretty good way using those side by side. Jonathan, let's see. We did this. This has been good. I like this. Marge wants to know about Dave. I like to follow that Dave, Marge. I haven't traded it much, but I like to follow it because there's some opportunity there. Maybe in October we'll make Dave one of our priorities. Negative on the long term, negative on the short term. Give it time to check it out. I'm a big advocate of having the right tools because you got to have a process. Put the E-mini in there and I'll talk about the process real quick. All right, this is the E-mini. Bullish. It's bullish on the left-hand side, but on the right-hand side, short term, it's negative, okay? It's negative, got that red arrow in control. Now, flip over to the roadmap on the E-mini, and this is where the roadmap comes into play when you flip over to the roadmap on the E-mini. What time frame are we in right now? The Genesis time frame. And did that previous bar touch the red zone, or is this going to be our penetration bar for a sell signal? I can't see on your chart. Did it touch it or not? Jonathan on E-mini there. Did it touch the sell zone, the previous bar?
Yeah, not quite. Not the sell zone entry for this new time frame is 66.91, 66.92.
Yeah, see, now here's how I give you numbers. Like this morning, I told you 66.94, but you can refine those numbers with the roadmap, and the roadmap's basically saying get below 91 to go into that sell. And my 2-bar approach says it breaks the low of the previous bar. We're at 93. Is that where it does? Or 91? I can't see it, Jonathan. What's that low?
90. Yeah, 93 is the prior bar. Sure is.
So it made a new low over the 94. And so refining that number, I'd say about 89, we're going to start trading lower. And if you look at the NASDAQ futures, you put it up there, it's really setting a good tone because if it takes out that low of that blue bar and the S&P's down, you got a market that's going to head down. Did I give everybody the numbers today? Let me give everybody the numbers. 67.15 was my pivot. 67.35 was my first resistance. 67.55 is the big resistance. To the downside, I got 66.94, and then my next number down to support is 66.75 on my numbers ladder. So if I got short using the futures, I'd use futures. I got short, I'd take my profit in front of that 75. That's why I like having that numbers ladder handy. Now, if you're trading the TQQ, you know, the TQQ is at 101.78, has a pivot number of 101.60, and the next support's 100 points lower or 100.60. So you got a lot of what I would call opportunity if it turns negative. Now, doesn't mean it's going to turn negative. I'm just giving you a what if, right? And that's the beautiful thing about these time frames that we've identified, because Genesis is a very important time frame. And if you get Genesis below RB3, that's a pretty good signal that you got a down move in the afternoon. And creates opportunity for you. Brian wants us to look at APP. Is that app loving? What is that the symbol for app loving, Brian? App.
Yes, it is. Yep, sure is.
I never traded that one.
Look at this gray line down here. That was the prior month open, way down there at 464. That gray line is going to shift all the way up here at the start of tomorrow's market.
Brian says, is it too extended to go long? Here's what I would do, Brian. I'd wait till the first 3 days of the month and find out. Right, Neil. I agree with Neil. Just says probably a good day to sell premium. I agree with you, Neil. I agree with you 100% on that. Matter of fact, let's go. Well, let's look at that. Put XSP in there for everybody. XSP. You got an hour and 30. You got it on 30. Put it on an hour if you don't mind. To the right.
Okay. Right. You're extra. Yep. Right chart. 1 hour. There we go.
Okay. What's the high of that red bar there?
That high is 666.16.
666 roughly. Go over to the one over the other high over there to the left. That green. No, the green. What high is that one?
That's about 15 cents higher than that. 666.32.
Let's just say 667. Y'all want to agree on that number, 667? Okay.
No.
All right. And let's go to the roadmap now.
All right. XSP. Here's the roadmap.
Okay. So if you look at, we're in Genesis right now, right?
Right.
And you look over at the closing bell from last night, that reference bar closing bell's got a high about 666. So if you do turn negative and you're doing premium, you could do a 667 or 667.68 if you broke those lows. Everybody see I did that? I looked at both the MTI and I also looked at the roadmap to get a frame using that reference bar from yesterday because it's in play. If you look at the closing bar and today's Genesis is negative, then you've got a trigger if it's negative, and you're about halfway through it right now. But anyway, I'm just telling you what I'm thinking. And hadn't traded, but that's what I was thinking on that. Now, if you didn't have a cloud over the market, then I'm a little bit more aggressive. But with the cloud over the market, you got to respect that. Okay. What we're trying to do here in Train and Trade is integrate all the tools we use, how each day goes, and then try to teach you different things that will help you in the long run. It might be in play today, won't be in play for a week or so, or 2 weeks. But there's five principles. The first principle is I follow the S&P. Why? Because 75% of all stocks follow the S&P. Number one. Number two, I'm always trying to determine on a daily basis first and on a 30-minute basis. It's a lot easier when they're both matched, but a 30-minute basis that whether to be long, short, or out. Okay. The first principle is S&P, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna do them on separate slides here. Number one, and let me see. Are you seeing that? Yeah, you're seeing that. Okay.
And then the second thing I'm always trying to do is determine long, short out. The third principle is I have to determine an entry, that's usually a trigger, what my target is on whatever I'm looking at and where I'm wrong. That's the third principle of what I do. The fourth principle that I do is I develop a process to take me from the thinking stage to the action stage. The fifth principle I review my results over a 10 trade play and I look for improvement. In other words, I don't think of one trade, I think of 10 trades, say, hey, what's my accuracy rate? I'm big on my accuracy rate. I want my accuracy rate to be high because if your accuracy rate's high, you have, just by the fact your accuracy rate's high, you have lower risk. And that's risk versus reward. Managing risk versus reward is part of that fifth principle.
Hey, Tom, I see President Trump on TV again this morning.
Is he on Fox News?
Let's see. What am I on here? Well, he's talking about the Pfizer deal. I guess I'm on CNBC right now.
Okay.
Yeah, CNBC. Hey, Ryan, we're live on YouTube. So if you want to catch up on what you missed so far, just head over to that YouTube channel. When we're done, click on the live tab and you'll be able to review it instantly when we're done. I think you can actually go there now if you wanted to, but instantly when we're done. Okay,
Now,
Brian, I see your
John,
note there.
we're going to come back today at 3:30 for our SPX XSP people, right? That's what I said I'd do. I'll do it.
Okay, great. Yeah, another 3:30 session. Look forward to it.
Folks, thank you so much. I've enjoyed going through today. I think you ought to I don't know what Adam's planning to do. Is he going to run the MTI for people?
Yeah, I got a couple more slides I can cover before we do that.
Yeah, why don't you do that then?
Yeah. Ryan, Tom and I have been live all morning. I'll check your email when we're done here with this session. Get you taken care of. Yeah, I'll post the slides. Yep. So we just listed the 5 principles from Tom. That's worth the being here right there. The 5 principles of review. 75% of all stocks follow the S&P 500. Follow the S&P. Got to determine long, short, or out. If you can't determine long, short, or out, you shouldn't trade. And just to reiterate, right now, the market's giving us confusion. Why Tom's not trading. Before placing a trade, you need to determine your entry. A lot of times we call that your trigger price, your targets, and your stop loss. A lot of times we just term that your ABO. especially when trading with options. We don't usually use a stop order that much. We use an ABO price on the underlying share price. Number 4, got to develop a process that helps you transition from the thinking stage to the action stage. All right. The roadmap is critical to accomplish that for us here at DTI.
Yeah, you might put parentheses on that action, roadmap plus MTI.
And number 5, always review your results, maybe on a 10 trade series. Look what you did good, look what you did wrong, and how you can improve that. Yep.
Always seek education. You might include that in principle. Always, you just say educate yourself. I believe in it because if I can teach you this, you make me look good.
Yeah, that's the great thing about the markets is there's always something new to learn. You know,
Isn't it though?
progression of, yep, that's right. So, the feature we picked out for today's roadmap focus is called the Game Changer. I'm going to go take you live. Actually, before we go live, the Game Changer is a tool we use inside the roadmap for intraday analysis and trading. It gives us the key times, the numbers that apply to the key times during the day. Over the last several weeks, you heard from Chuck a good deal about key numbers. And there's key numbers are generated from a lot of, several different factors. What this feature does is it focuses on those key times during the trade day. So let's just review the key times during the trade day. We got 1800, 6 p.m. Eastern time is when the futures market opens, and that's where our reference bar 1 is. So 6 p.m. Eastern time. All right. And then it takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours, so 3 hours, excuse me, for the Asian markets to get up and running. And so the next key time on this Game Changer is 8 p.m. Eastern. 8 p.m. Eastern. Then we move on to Europe for our reference bar 2 at 4:30 a.m. Then we got U.S. pre-market, historically pre-market for RBX at 7 a.m. Europe comes back from lunch. And of course, the cash market kicks off at 9:30. This next time period we're currently in, the European close at 11:30, that kicks off our Genesis bar, RBY. Then we got the afternoon RB4 when the U.S. returns from lunch. And finally, the closing bell stretch. The closing bell stretch, which is our final reference bar slide of the day at 15:30 or 3:30 Eastern. So if we just go to a live market, I need to take a snapshot for the slides since we now have the Genesis time period. But this is what the feature looks like. Now, there's not a lot of clarity in this market. You can kind of see here, and this is a very, very short-term focus just today. We've been talking about it. Tom's been talking about it over and over again on the most recent trade sessions. Not a lot of clarity, so he's not trading. But what this feature does specifically is, if you look through here, now these are central time blocks. So that's yesterday's closing bell number, 6704, which is where we're currently trading. Everybody see that? 6704 quarter. That's actually why the box is yellow right now, because we're trading right at that number. All right, it just ticked up to 64 half or 04 half. That's why the box went green. All right, so we're trading right at the 230 number from yesterday. We've gone up a little bit, gone down a little bit, but we're basically haven't gone anywhere. There's last night's open at 6708. We're below that right now. That's why the box is red. We're below the 1900 box. And we're currently above the 330, or excuse me, I'm speaking in Central Time because that's what it's listed here on my roadmap. But we're above the European reference bar RB2. We're above the pre-market reference bar RBX. We're above the cash open right now, not by much. And we're above the Genesis bar. But so what we look here with this, we really want to see green across the board. If there's green across the board, the chances are high that you got a market that might be trying to trend. If there's, generally speaking, there's red across the board, you got a market that trying to trend lower. All right. Now,
John, could you add the SPX in there for me?
sure. Now, SPX, not XSP. All right, there's the SPX. If the box has a star in it, don't worry about the color coding. That star just means there is no data coming through for that time period. And if I had left my roadmap open all night, we most likely would have data there. All right, but I didn't have it open all night. So it's trying to go back in time and find data, and there's no data to be collected. That's what the star means. The color of the star, don't even worry about that. All right. So when we have a market that is really tradable, really trending, what we'll do is we'll use the prior two bars as a controlling bar. Now, obviously, we got a little asterisk right now. This is not a market that's easy and fun to trade, right? So keep that in mind. But when you have a trending market, we usually use those last two bars as our controlling bar, which would mean on a normal day, if we can get the price above 67.0675, we're looking pretty good to the bullish side. Or if we fall below 66.99, we'd be thinking about going short. But everybody understand how this feature works, right? These timestamps is just showing the opening price at that key time of day. All right. Opening price is at that key time of day. And just like most of the features inside a roadmap that are color coded, when you have green across the board, you're getting a lot of clarity long. When you have red across the board, you're getting a lot of clarity short. We don't have either of those today. So it's saying stay out of the market. We'll have to revisit this feature sometime in the future. I'm sure we will. It's a great little feature for intraday trading. Trying to keep you on the right side of the market, long, short, or out. Hey, thanks, Ryan. I see your note there.
Yeah, this was what you're seeing is over time, I see things in different markets, for the last 25 years. And then I got a notebook, I do it manually until I get tired of doing it manually. Then I talk to the programmer and program it in. But you can imagine a lot of work has gone into making this tool so valuable, because I can't trade without the roadmap. I'll say that over and over again. I can't do it. Too much data, and it organizes the data for you to be able to make good decisions off of. And I remember when I used to call the floor to place orders, I'd have all these little, notepads with numbers written down. I could never have it organized. And in a fast market, you get behind the 8 ball, and this keeps you straight and keeps you moving in the right direction. Okay. And that's what this does for us. And the Game Changer is just one of those other features that depending on the style of trade you want to use. Or if you get a stock you want to buy and you say, well, let me put it in a Game Changer, it does all the work for you and spits out the correct answer. Was that a good decision right now to be buying it? For example, Tesla would not be, even though it's bullish, would not be a good decision to go in there. Donna, if you'll listen to the recording we spent about 30 minutes on that. If you want to go listen to the recording, exactly what we're doing there. And you can listen to recorded on YouTube. It's got all the related out.
Yeah, Don, that was part of the SPX training this morning, and that recording is rendering right now, and it will be available inside the members area very soon.
No, you're confused. Did we do that part of the SPX this morning? We did do that too. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry about that. We did. Would it be a good time to short Tesla? I always follow that first principle. What's my first principle? Trade in the direction of the S&P. Since I'm confused about the direction of the S&P, it ain't a good time for me to do anything.
Yeah, I think that, you know, it was worth saying again, you know, we're here, everybody's in front of their computer watching the markets, itching to trade, and you know, take a step back, and just be patient, you know. Don't force a trade. Everybody's done it before. I've done it. Tom's done it. Let's be smart about this and keep that.
Problem is, you think you got it, and then it turns on you, don't have the confidence in the trade, you'll get out, take a loss. That's the problem.
Right. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Your emotions will take over because you'll be penalizing yourself for doing it. That's the long and short of it.
Okay, Tom, last thing we're going to do here, I'm going to bring up the moneymaker and we're going to update these if we need to. I'll post in the TNT. Let's just see what we had earlier today. Are you still good with 67.17 as the high marker and 66.94 as the low marker?
No, I would raise it to 67.35 now.
Okay, let me reset that. 67.35.
And I would put the downside at 67 or 66.75 now.
66.75, okay.
That'd be the two numbers I'd go in the afternoon with.
So if we update that, we got SPX levels. Let's go through the top levels. If the S&P futures get to 67.35, the moneymaker is saying the SPX should be at 66.78. XSP should be getting close to 668. Diamond should be 463.5 to 464. QQQ should be close to 601. The SPY should be about 665 and the TQQ should be about 103.5. To the downside, if the S&P futures drops to 66.75, that would put the SPX around 66.28. XSP about 60 or 662.5 to 663. The Diamond 459.5 to 460. QQQ 595, SPY 660-ish, and the TQQQ about 100.5 to 101 or 101. Take a snapshot of this, post it into our TNT program. And folks, as we talk through the roadmap features, we're going to continue talking through the roadmap features in Train and Trade just to show you everything that it can do. And we're just scratching the surface. But if you do today or any day in the future want to get the roadmap, you can go to dtitrader.com/roadmap and it will take you right to it. So dtitrader.com/roadmap. And I'll post that link in the chat here in just a second, make it easier for you to get to. This has been Train and Trade for the last day of September. It's been a good month. Tom had a great month trading. For the month of September, we'll review that probably tomorrow as we kick off a new month of October. Thanks for being here, everybody. Tom, thank you.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. See everybody. Bye. 3:30 for the SPX people.